resource that I researched was the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, and the families can find more info by either calling the educational phone number, which I found online was 559-498-5920, or they can go on the website, which has a lot of information. So number two, who can be served by this resource, and the general public, specific age groups, and special disabilities can all be served at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo. So if you are a student with special needs, they have programs that are designed to fit special needs groups. So number three, what activities are available? So online I found that the zoo preview can be adapted for special needs groups. It's a 60-minute hands-on program which includes birds, mammals, and reptiles, and this activity will be a touch activity with biofacts including hair, bones, feathers, and more. And I found that this program is designed for pre-K and kindergarten, but on the website it states that it can be adapted for special needs groups. So that is number four, and how it can be accommodating to those individuals. So I thought that was a really cool resource because it's in our area and it's known in our area, commonly known. So the next one, number two, the keepers that I found from the interview with Dr. Milner is that about the caring about their child, and it affected or changed the view of parental involvement or teaching in high poverty schools is that the parent sees the school as sees it that the school's responsibility is to help students academically. And from my experience working in a high poverty school with 92% of the children being social economically disadvantaged, is that this is true. The parents do count on us to support the student academically because they are worried about supporting the students' needs for clothes and food. So that is true. And so I agreed with Dr. Malner on that topic. And then number three, what are my keepers from the interview with Dr. Ford? And I found that we all have a culture and we all have differences. So she stated this, and it's a really good reminder for us as educators to think about. And then as an educator, we should use generic terms with caution. So we should really be speaking with specifics. And then how did Dr. Ford explain various factors that affect individuals from racially and culturally diverse backgrounds? And I found that she said that we should be using the term culturally different, and that we need to be specific about the differences of the individual because it is really more respectful to be that way. So that is really good things to think about as an educator when we are talking about people in our classrooms. So we make sure that we remember that everyone's culturally different. And then number five, according to the IRS model, what are the range of emotions associated with being a parent of a child with special needs? And those emotions are grief, denial, guilt, anger, depression, anxiety, fear, and joy. So working in a classroom, I have a special needs student, and I have found it very helpful that when I provide support to the parent as a teacher, if I notice that a student is doing really good and striving in one area, I can share that resource to the parent. So for example, my student, we are working right now on STEM education, and we are actually building electrical circuits, and he really loved the hands-on activity, and I actually had an extra circuit board, so I gave that resource to the parent, and he actually gets to practice that at home, and he's really enjoying it, and it's helping him with our material that we're covering in class. So I found that really helpful. So just providing resources and support to parents is really helpful. And then number five, according to the IRS model, identify and describe three roles that a parent and a child who has a disability might undertake. And those roles are being a medical expert, being a transition specialist, and being a personal planner for the future. So as a parent with a child that has a disability, the parent really has to be an expert in all these things because they have to help the parent or they have to help the child um, day in and day out, and they have to understand the child completely. So, and they have to, and the child relies on them a lot. So that's why with the transition specialist, or even the medical expert, or the personal planner for the future, those are all the things that the student could have questions about, and the child would probably go to the parent for answers to these. And then, according to the IRS model, what ways can teachers build relationships with students and their families? And the three ways were involvement, respecting families, and having the family strength, keeping up with the family strength. And one thing that I really enjoyed from the observation recently was in my classroom, the teacher uses Class Dojo, and she's able to easily share what the students are doing. And I think that really brings in the family and connects the parent and child with the teacher. So it really shows all these things, the involvement, respecting families, and having the family strengths, because maybe the parent can also comment back and um, mention or suggest some things that could help the child too if they're struggling. Sorry I went over a little bit on time, but those were what I found from this week. Thank you.